नमस्कार। उपराष्ट्रपति एम वेंकैया नायडू ग्रीन बिल्डिंग कांग्रेस के उद्घाटन समारोह में मुख्य अतिथि के तौर पर हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। आइए आपको सीधा लिए चलते हैं।
IGBC one, we have already told. I'm sure this was already under process to both the joint secretary and the concerned team members. But we can make a mention. But you could make a mention, sir. Godrej sir.
Yeah.
Jamshedji, you can make. That should be made.
Vice President is with us.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on live. Very good morning. A warm welcome to the inaugural session of the Green Building Congress 2020. The Honorable Vice President, the chief guest of the event, has arrived. Now, I request Chandradeep Banerjee, DG of CII, to welcome and also conduct the session, please.
I think mute.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, Mr. Jamshed Godrej, the past President of CII and the Chairman of the Godrej CII Green Business Center, Mr. Suresh, Mr. Gurpreet Singh Arora, ladies and gentlemen, indeed a very, very good morning to all of you. On behalf of CII, a warm welcome to all the participants who have come here, more than 1,500 people who are attending this flagship event, the flagship meet on green buildings, the Green Building Congress 2020. A very special pleasure and privilege to welcome Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, the Honorable Vice President of India. Sir, we have always been inspired by your vision and the way you have given us directions and guidance to do varied things in wide-ranging areas, from skill development to environment, to manufacturing, to women and child development, to infrastructure, to CSR, and one can go on. And it's truly been inspirational. We really recall the several times in the past, through the many years, that you have given directions and advice to work for the development of the nation to all of us at the CII. And your initiatives always benefited large cross sections of our population through the work that you have initiated, be it in the areas like rural development or even your vision of smart cities in India, which has given directions in taking forward the nation's green agenda and also created livelihood. Your presence today, sir, will further provide a fillip in making India one of the top countries that have embraced green buildings. Sir, this year, 2020, marks the 125 years of CII's contribution to shaping India's development journey. So we are especially delighted and honored today that you have graced this occasion on this very important milestone that we have achieved over the last 125 years. And this year, environment is in the top of our agenda in this very special year of CII. And this opportunity is of great value to us as we present to you the work that we have done on green buildings in India. And we will seek your guidance as we go along in the next few minutes. Sir, the Indian government has committed its its intended national determined contributions, the INDCs, a reduction in the emissions intensity of its GDP by 33 to 35% by 2030 from 2005 level. CII is fully committed to support the government of India in achieving this. And now we are playing a very critical role for sustainable tomorrow, and it's working closely. We are, all of us, this team that you see here today, sir, is working very closely with the central government and the several state governments in promoting ecologically sustainable business growth models. And through CII Centers of Excellence, which has been created, we are working with all stakeholders as business enablers issues and identify opportunities through policy framework, capacity building, as well as advisory services to our members and to the industry in India. And the Green Business Center, the GBC, sir, it was established in 2001 and is today the leading amongst the green agenda for the industry. And we have a tall business leader who has really walked the talk, Mr. Jamshed Godrej, who has given us the leadership through these years in building up this very important agenda for green, for us at the industry, and also really collaborating with all its stakeholders. And this Green Business Center building was the first green platinum rated green building in the country, sir. And the building has created a spark in the country that has led to several industries, several members of CII, sir, and other stakeholders pursuing the path of green buildings. And just only a few months ago, if I may say, the GBC building, the Green Business Center building, has turned into a net zero energy building. And the building exports about 500 to 600 units of energy per day to the state grid today. And the Indian Green Business Council, the IGBC, which was started and initiated by us, has pioneered the concept of green buildings in the country. So it's a proud achievement for all of us that today that India stands tall with 7.61 billion square feet of green building footprint, one of the top 5 countries in the world. And IGBC has been instrumental in catalyzing construction of more than 90% of the green buildings in the country, leading to a substantial and tangible and intangible benefits to our country. It has been firmly, sir, established that green buildings are indeed very environmentally sustainable, and also they make important and a good business sense. So your presence today will further inspire the journey that we have embarked upon. We will continue to facilitate embracing sustainable principles alongside the development agenda. Once again, sir, a very warm welcome to the Honorable Vice President of India and all our esteemed guests that have joined here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sure that the deliberations of this conference will contribute in advancing the green building movement across the country. So once again, thank you and welcome. With that, I would request Mr. V. Suresh, the chairman of the Indian Green Business Council, to give the theme address.
Thank you very much, and a very happy good morning to all the distinguished gathering, and particular M. Venkaiah Naidu Garu, Honorable Vice President of India, Jamshed Godrej, past President, CII and Chairman of CII Swarab Godrej Green Business Center, Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General of CII, Gurmeet Singh Arora, my colleague in IGBC. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great pleasure to greet you for the 18th edition of the Green Building Congress. This is the first time that a Green Building Congress is being held and organized in a virtual format. And what a response we have received with the number of delegates registered already participating at this point of time, 3,000 plus, phenomenally good. Let me add my own personal words of welcome to Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu Garu, Honorable Vice President of India, with whom we had the pleasure of working both in the rural development and urban development and housing ministry in a very long time. Sir, your presence adds grace to the conference and would give a major fillip to the green building movement in the country. Like 125 years of CII, we are 20 years old, and the green building movement now is a pan-India initiative with the support of various stakeholders. As indicated, we have about 6,055 projects and 761 crore square feet of green building. That's a phenomenal one. 761 crore square feet for all asset class of buildings and the built environment. We went beyond buildings to the built environment as well. And I'm pleased that this is now spread all over the country with 27 local chapters of IGBC all over India, helping us widen our reach, including Tier 2, Tier 3, and also rural areas. Sir, I'm glad to inform that IGBC has been working with the central, state, and local governments and developers, both under CREDAI as well as NAREDCO and others, with an objective to ensure sustainability with no or meager additional costs for most of the buildings, and more so in the affordable housing sector. I am delighted to inform you, sir, more than 17 lakhs of dwelling units or houses for different housing typologies have already gone green with the IGBC involvement in this particular sector. While we are still an agrarian-based economy, urbanization in India is set to witness a meteoric rise in the next 2 decades. As everybody guesses, from 400 million now, it's going to be 600 million by 2030. This puts enormous demand on our existing cities, and we need, therefore, make newer and smarter cities and buildings for all uses. Sir, I am pleased to inform that IGBC has taken many initiatives to assess the sustainable development in cities, which is in line with the national missions of Smart City Mission, Amrit Cities Mission, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Swachh Bharat, and Digital India. Special rating systems have been identified and put into operation to deal with each other segment already. I'm also glad to inform that we are also working on many villages going green through the Green Villages measures as well. Green buildings have already resulted fantastic impact with 40 to 50% saving in energy and 30 to 40% on water use. And that's a significant contribution, sir. Energy and water and also waste management component and related carbon footprint reduction, our contribution has been very significant, and most of the enhancing the overall quality of life of the people in all the spaces that we create, sir. Given the COVID-19 pandemic, the theme of the event has been aptly selected to address hygiene, health, and well-being as the main theme, sir. And we are having a special thrust in the buildings related to that and all the spaces to be done and discussions related to this particular area on this topic, sir. The Green Building Congress 2020, sir, with a 3-day virtual conference starting from today till 31st. We have 80 eminent speakers with 30 international speakers participating here to bring in the best possible knowledge levels, and also a 30-day, 1-month online exposition that showcases latest green building technologies and 150 green products which can be viewed by all stakeholders in a large way. We are very happy and glad that the world leader, World Green Building Council, is a supporting partner for the conference, and 13 green building councils from countries across the globe are supporting the Congress. I take this opportunity to thank the representatives from Australia, Brazil, Canada, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Malaysia, Mauritius, Philippines, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, South Africa, and the United Arab Emirates. So going forward, IGBC has set distinct goals with the type of capability and capacity developed, and with over 90% of the market slice dealing with green building in the country, sir. When we reach 2022, which is an important year for all of us, India at 75 years of independence, we would like to be global leader, and we would like to achieve at that point of time 10 billion square feet or 1,000 crore square feet of green footprint. It's achievable the way we are going, sir, already having done 761 crores so far. We'd also like to get into the areas of certifying over 100 net zero energy buildings and also get into net zero water in many projects there, sir. We'd also like to the capacities being created by green building accreditations to over 10,000 professionals to come in this particular sector, because it's equally important, the architects and the engineers and the designers dealing with mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting, everybody being trained on the green building aspect, including the developers as well as builders in a large way, sir. We wish to work very closely with not only central government, state and local governments, for greening for all types of buildings, be it hotel or hospitals or office complexes or residents in a large way, and in particular on the green affordable housing also in particular, sir. We are also working very closely with the CEOs of smart cities and Amrit cities to go green in a large way. We also would like to put our signature like we have done for the Paryavaran building and Ministry of External Affairs, Jawahar Bhavan. Also, the other new buildings which are coming of importance, be it the Parliament or the Central Vista buildings, to begin all the efficiency component also. In conclusion, sir, I would urge all stakeholders to join the green building movement and partake in advancing the national goal of greening India. Thank you very much for your esteemed presence and participation, sir. And we're very happy on that, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Suresh, for that theme address. And now it's my pleasure to invite and request Mr. Jamshed Godrej, the past president of CII and the chairman of the CII, Saurabh Godrej Green Business Center, to give his address and remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, and a very warm welcome to the Vice President of India, Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, who is very well aware of the issues that we are speaking about here, as he has handled this portfolio for many years very ably. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us this morning. It is a great honor for CII and for the green building movement in the country for you to be present for the annual meeting of the Indian Green Building Congress. You know, one of the reason why we have to be all virtually connected today, of course, we know is because of this COVID pandemic. And I think the pandemic also points very clearly to limitations that we have in our environment. And that if we do not respect nature and we do not respect natural forces, these are some things like the pandemic can become recurring in future. And I think CII has for many years now been at the forefront of making and directing industry towards becoming more green. We know that industry has been contributing a lot in the past to the problems that we have, whether it is to do with our environment or energy or water. But the purpose of the green building, the purpose of the Green Business Center for the last 20 years in CII has essentially been to change that course of direction and make industry green, make industry sustainable, and make industry environmentally responsible. And I think we have made a lot of progress in that. But obviously, India is a big country. We have a lot of development to do in the years to come. And this is going to be, of course, a big challenge. And CII has taken on this challenge head on. And the Green Business Center and the Sustainability Center of CII are those institutional bodies that we are using in CII to further our agenda of being more sustainable and more green. I think, as you heard, the Green Business Center in Hyderabad has achieved net zero, and a platinum rating for the net zero building. This means, of course, as was mentioned, that we are now exporting energy from the building after whatever we have been able to use. And, this is the future of buildings. Use more technology, use more greater understanding, a holistic understanding of the role of green buildings, not only for the nation, but also for the people who work in these buildings, have a better air quality. I think the pandemic is telling us that we have to be careful about indoor air quality just as much as we have to be careful about outdoor air quality. And the green building definitely helps in understanding that situation a lot better. I think one of the key things for India will be not just our commitments in the Paris Agreement, but also our commitments as we go forward towards converting our country into a net zero energy country. This is a challenge which is enormous. It's a challenge which a lot of countries around the world have taken on. And I would like to suggest that we take on in India really ambitious target of converting our country to a net zero energy country within 2050. I think this is entirely doable. We have seen that many countries and regions around the world are aiming to do this. I think India can be much more ambitious, and this is something that is entirely doable. And you have been, Mr. Vice President, a champion for these initiatives, and I hope that you will further this idea and support this idea that we make India a net zero energy country within 2050, which is not that far away. We realize that, of course, it's only 30 years away, but there's a lot to be done. And I hope that these initiatives like the Green Building Congress and many of our other sustainability related events can make us move forward. We have done pioneering work in green buildings, as Mr. Suresh has just explained. And this is something that we are very proud of. And we believe that India can be a leader in green buildings in the years to come. And with your help and with your support, I'm sure that we will be able to achieve this. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President, for being with us today. And we greatly appreciate your presence and look forward to your address. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Godrich. With that, may I request Mr. V. Suresh to make some announcements of some important launches and releases, please.
Thank you very much, Chandrajit sir. Sir, we have got 4 important documents being released at the hands of the Honorable Vice President. And the first one is the Coffee Table Book, volume number 4, on Green Built Environment, Champions Redefining India's Sustainability Landscape. The Coffee Table Book captures unique features of top 100 green building projects, highlighting tangible and intangible benefits achieved by each of the projects. It is an effort to bring forward the success stories of green buildings and in the process inspire the users to tread the green way. The book is prepared under the chairmanship of Mr. Samir Sinha, IGBC Chair for Ahmedabad Chapter, and Architect Jayesh Haryani, IGBC Co-Chair for Ahmedabad Chapter. What is so gratifying, and we are very grateful, is the message that we have got from the Honorable Prime Minister of India for his illuminating message which he has given to the nation for going green for the built environment, and also recognizing that development environment need not be at crossroads. You can do any amount of development needing for India's growth, but do it environment friendly, go the green way. Very positive message coming from the Honorable Prime Minister is a great source of encouragement to all of us. Sir, with your permission, we are now launching the Coffee Table Book with your present, sir. Go forward. Yeah. The message of the Prime Minister, which is there in the book, also is given, sir, whole page, quite a comprehensive one, sir. We are very grateful for the message, sir, that can go for the whole country. Going forward, sir, we got the keeping in view the thrust area that we have is going to be IGBC Green Healthcare Facilities Rating System version 1.0. IGBC Green Healthcare Facilities pilot version, sir, was launched in 2016. Large number of hospitals and medical care in different parts of the country have done the IGBC Green Care Hospital Rating Guideline. But with the current global pandemic, which has raised various challenges for the healthcare facilities, sir, very fast track and emergency facilities were needed to be created for all the patients to be treated also into a large way. And the infection spread and related concerns were a large one. And how do you deal with that in existing hospitals? And there also the infection care has to be done. To address these challenges, sir, version 1.0 has been developed, including the green guidelines for facilities to treat COVID-19 patients. This rating system has been created under the leadership of Professor Dr. Chandrasekhar, who was a former chief architect with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Sir, with your consent, and we would like to launch the IGBC rating 1.0 version for the healthcare facilities. This is the document in front of you, sir. This is going to be extremely useful. All the state governments are very happily looking forward to these particular norms, so that for all the facilities they are putting in different parts of the country, they would be utilizing these particular guidelines in a very large way, sir. Going forward, sir, the IGBC, our next thrust area, keeping the economic development of the country and the backward forward linkage is required, and the IGBC Green Logistics Parks warehousing rating system. Phenomenal amount of interest is there from the industry in a large way, not only the food sector for the cold storages and other related one, but also manufacturing sector. IGBC developed the first of its kind in the world, an exclusive rating system for logistics parks, warehouses, and cold chains and storages in the country. The objective is to drive, facilitate a holistic approach for developing world-class green logistics facilities, so that the safety and the use of all the products are well maintained and looked after. And we will give a thrust in this particular one in line with national priorities, working closely with the various ministries dealing with that, transport efficiency, resource conservation, and greenhouse gas emission reduction also in a large way. This rating system has been developed under the leadership of Mr. A.M. Vishwanathan, chair of the IGBC Green Logistics Parks and Warehouses, and also CII Institute for in this particular sector as well. Sir, with your permission, we are now launching the IGBC rating system for logistics parks, warehouses. Sir, I'm sure this is going to be a lot of projects already started coming under this category. Last and most important for the day is IGBC Net Zero Water Rating for buildings and built environment.
Sri Jamshed Godrej ji, Sri V. Suresh, Sri Chandrajit Banerjee, Sri Gurmeet Singh Arora, green building professionals, officials of the CII, engineers, developers, and builders across the country, we all are joining this conclave, designers, and architects, and other well-meaning people who are associating themselves with this CAA proposed Green Building Congress 2020. I really have pleasure in inaugurating this Confederation of Indian Industries Green Building Congress. The reason being very simple. This is the need of the hour. This should be the thrust area for the development of India. But for the pandemic, we were moving fast. And I am sure we'll be able to overcome this pandemic also at the earliest. I am sure these deliberations, 3-day deliberations of this conference will provide fresh insights and facilitate the Indian construction industry in building a greener India. We not only need to build a strong India, but we need to build a cleaner and greener India. I'm happy to note that this year, 2020, marks 125 years of CII's contribution to the industry and the nation. I must compliment CII for spearheading the green building movement through its Indian Green Building Council since 2001. This is a step in the right direction. Chandrajit Banerjee and then Sri Suresh ji and even Jamshed Godrej ji and all. I always, whenever I participate in such conferences as a Rural Development Minister or Urban Development Minister in whatever capacity, I always, appreciate the work done, but I always give them further task, because you are the people who can do it. And you must really do something better than what you have done in the past. That's always been the thrust of my address to the conferences whenever I have called, because you are the doers. You are capable of doing it. Unfortunately, you have the wherewithal and knowledge and people committed for the cause getting involved in these activities. Sri Jamshed Godrej has been working very sincerely in a committed manner. I have seen his work and also heard about the good work done by him and his colleagues. Mr. Suresh, though he is looking young, he is older than many of us, but with vast experience. He has the knowledge, field experience, and also academic excellence as far as this subject is concerned. I have seen him working with me in the rural development, ADCO, then also in other responsibilities. He's a very dynamic. So your people, with the present setup of Sri Gurmeet Singh Arora, who is the Vice Chairman of this Green Building Council, I am sure you can take this movement further. The Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, you know, is always ambitious because ours is a huge country, huge population, and you have vast number of challenges in front of you. So these challenges cannot be met by the government alone, be it the center or the state or the local self-government. The entire people, country, they should all join together in all these fields, from education to environment. And the important thing is, while we are moving forward on the developmental front, we are also facing challenges on the ecological front. So we have to understand that, and how do you marry both development and environment? They are not contradictory. They can go together, provided if you properly educate the people and people are motivated and then move forward. That's why I always say, remember your culture. Nature, culture, together for better future. The civic community has to be educated. You make any number of regulations, rules, unless the people cooperate, you cannot operate it effectively. So the need of the hour is to create the needed motivation among the people. I'm happy the CAA, through its publications today that are being released, that will give enough information and also inspiration. Because whatever information you give, this information is with confirmation. You are speaking or you are publishing it out of experience. So I am sure these publications will be very useful. If the mankind is able to take care of the nature, nature will take care of the mankind. Unfortunately, we started misbehaving with the nature. So nature also is showing its fury. That's why you get all these natural calamities. Most of them are man-made. So you have to change the mindset of the people and explain them of the consequences. Now we have seen in this pandemic, in spite of all scientific advances, even so-called advanced countries, how they are facing this challenge, even developed countries. The COVID, its effects, side effects, and now after effects are being felt by one and all, including developed countries. So the focus should be more on being friendly with the nature. The air, the water, the land, the light, and what we call as Panchaphutas. All of them should be taken care. So we should perform our responsibilities in a better manner. That's where the role of organizations like CAA, they play a very important role. I am delighted to know that India, with a 7.61 billion square feet of green building footprint, is among the top 5 countries in the world. This is truly laudable and an important milestone in India's mission to build a greener and healthier India. I appreciate all of you for taking green building movement in India to newer heights. The good work should continue, and the government and the industry should work together in achieving the country's mission. I would also like to compliment the CAI for developing guidelines for combating COVID-19 in green buildings. My dear sisters and brothers of the country, you are all aware the Government of India is making a determined effort to transform India into a holistically sustainable nation with the involvement of all the stakeholders. The Prime Minister has given a call: reform, perform, and transform. Transform in every sense. Over the past few decades, humankind has been experiencing extreme climate events at regular intervals, from droughts to floods to wildfires. The extreme events, tsunamis, and have wreaked havoc in the affected regions and caused economic as well as health damages. It is now clear that climate change is real as daylight, and countries all over the world must adopt drastic and revolutionary measures to mitigate the problems of global warming. According to the World Green Building Council, buildings and construction amount to 39% of the energy. They account for 39% of energy related to CO2 emissions in the world. This is a matter of concern and needs to be addressed on a war footing. The need of the hour is accelerate the process of total decarbonization of the built environment. Perhaps the time has come to seriously consider if we have to make it mandatory for every new building, government or private, to go green, be it for office, hospital, education, entertainment, hotel, home, all this. Not only new buildings, the existing buildings need to have to be retrofitted to make them environment friendly by adopting green practices that promote energy efficiency and water conservation. I suggest that CAA should focus on this also, retrofitting the old buildings. Sustainable buildings are an important component in building resilient communities. As a matter of fact, there is a need to create awareness on the urgency of promoting green buildings concept among the people. The architects also should apply their mind. We are seeing, particularly in this COVID, with our little knowledge, the circulation of the air from within, it affects more than the open. Sometimes I used to conduct my meetings initially when this COVID started, under the tree outside my house with a select number of people. And we feel more comfort because the light shows you the light of the future and your ideas will be bright. So gone are those days of keeping everything closed. Keep it open and then allow the light to come in to light your lives. That should be the attitude. I have seen certain buildings, even in Hyderabad. The energy requirement is very minimum because the natural energy is coming. Apart from energy efficiency, the concept seeks to ensure water efficiency. Water is an important thing that has to be taken care because there is going to be water shortage also, and we are used to waste water without understanding the value of the water. The use of renewable energy. Of course, we are promoting, the Prime Minister have taken lead. Now, there is a movement across the country to go for renewable energy. Promote waste reduction. This is another big challenge. Lot of waste is being created. How do you reduce it? And encourage the use of environment-friendly local material. This is another aspect. I got a building constructed in Nellore. I remember Mr. Suresh, myself, we went and laid foundation for that. Using environment-friendly local material. The material is available. In other words, sustainability has to be the watchword because buildings are one of the major contributors of greenhouse gas emissions. There is a need for concerted, coordinated effort from all the stakeholders to ensure the use of construction material that is environment friendly and mitigate the effects of climate change. The construction material we use today should be sustainable, should not be in any way jeopardize the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Low carbon technologies have to be extensively promoted and used. Basically, a green building must use less energy, less water, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions drastically. I would like to suggest to the Indian Green Building Council to launch a campaign for promoting net zero carbon building. And every building must have outside to say that ours is a green building. Promote that concept. Ours is a green building. When you move around the cities, you must find number of such displays. That really motivates others. The CREDAI, organizations like CREDAI and others should be involved in this campaign. They also have different chapters because they are also involved in construction activity. The Indian Building Congress, CREDAI, they should all be involved in this campaign. As you are all aware, a net zero carbon building is highly energy efficient and fully powered by on-site and or off-site renewable energy sources. I suggest to the local bodies, corporations, municipalities to encourage and promote by giving tax concessions to those green buildings. That will be a great incentive where water wastage is reduced, where there is rainwater harvesting, where there is energy saving, renewable energy. All these things needed to be encouraged unless you give incentive, the ordinary people, as I told you, have a vast area. And also we have a good number of middle class. So if you incentivize them, the momentum will pick up further. So the Urban Development Ministry and Rural Development Ministry must focus on this aspect and motivate the local bodies. And then in future, the finance commissions also should focus their attention on this. As we know that under this government, a lot of money is going directly to panchayats from the central government. It's a welcome development. But it should be combined with, it should be tied with some sort of guideline. So that more and more, like you have green states with more green coverage, they are being given some weightage. So similarly, such local bodies and also the communities, they should be encouraged. I am saying it from the platform of the CAA because you are capable of taking forward this idea. It should be realized that it cannot be business as usual in regard to combating global warming. At the current rate of growth, the urban population in India is estimated to reach a staggering 57 crores by 2030 and 87 crores by 2050. In this context, sustainable development becomes a critical part of our nation building. Today, urban India constitutes about 65% of the India's GDP, which is estimated to increase to 70% by 2030. An unprecedented expansion that will change the economic, social, and environmental landscape of our country. The development of Smart Cities mission is thus to promote cities that provide core urban infrastructure and give a decent quality of life to its citizens, a clean and sustainable environment. The main motto of Government of India is to make cities livable centers of growth. With a growing demand for shelter and related urban infrastructure, especially for economically weaker sections and lower income groups, the Government of India is making resolute efforts in ensuring affordable housing for all through the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. I am glad to learn that the CA has been working with state governments and developers for the implementation of green concepts in affordable housing projects, because our center is incentivizing housing projects. One of the reasons for the real estate picking up in the recent, in spite of this pandemic, is that the interest rates have been reduced considerably. By the Reserve Bank, by the banks, and now you get a loan at a very affordable rate. So the building activity is going to pick up. With that momentum, you should see to it that they are sustainable. But also remember that Mahatma Gandhi has famously said that India lives in villages, with more than 50% of our population still dependent on agriculture, because agriculture is our basic culture. Boosting rural economies also is of vital importance. If India has to grow, our village has to be prosperous, and we should have access to all basic amenities like the urban areas. Going green in villages would mean access to hygiene, health, sanitation, energy, water, and education. I am happy to know that the CA has taken up implementation of green measures in 24 villages in 11 states. What is 24 villages, Mr. Chandrit Banerjee? That's not even equivalent to number of states. So it should go to thousands. Next time, you must go to 2,400 villages to begin with, and in all states. And it should be taken up as a challenge and as a mission. So I would like to suggest to the members of the CEA and also the other business organizations to expand their footprint to many more number of villages and states. My dear sisters and brothers, India has the potential to lead the global green building movement, and there is a need for a concerted push on this front by both the private players and the government. I urge the construction sector to work with Government of India and the state governments in building a greener, healthier and prosperous India. I once again convey my appreciation to all of you for your contribution in building a sustainable India. I'm happy that you brought out a coffee table book and rating systems on healthcare, logistics and net zero water are all launched today. I hope that there will be of immense use. I wish Green Building Congress 2020, Green Building Congress, I'm not talking of politics or parties. Congress is a congregation. Green Building Congress, a grand success, because elections are going on. I don't want to. You misunderstood that I'm using the name of a particular party and all. I wish this conclave a grand success. Thank you, Mr. Godrej, Suresh, Chandrajit Banerjee, and Gurmit Singh Arora and other friends. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that very motivational, inspirational address as usual, and many ideas from you. And as you have said, sir, you have given us a clear agenda and also a lot of tasks for the future. And we hope to come back to you with some results when we meet in the future. Thank you very much, sir. With that, may I now request Mr. Gurmit Singh Arora, the Vice Chairman of the Indian Green Business Council, to give the concluding remarks, please. Maybe some technical issue, it seems, from his connection. So maybe I will request Mr. Suresh to quickly wrap up, because we have to be on time for the Honorable Vice President. Mr. Suresh, if you can unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, Mr. Suresh.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, indeed, it's a great honor to deliver the concluding remarks at the inaugural session of the India's flagship event on green buildings and green built environment. To respected Shri Venkaiah Naidu Garu Sahab, Vice President of India, sir, we thank you so much for your august presence and your inspiring and illuminating words. Your address was truly motivating from all points of view, and your reference to large number of activities in rural, urban development and big thrust you want to give for the rural development. We are working on that. We will come back to that number that you wanted, sir. Your vision for smart cities and housing for all is transforming towards a greener and healthier country. It's already taking shape. And I'm very happy that you made mention on large number of initiatives we can put in our action. And in each one of those areas, we'll work on, be it on the housing or on the office space, as well as working with the state governments. I'm very happy to indicate that many of the state governments have also come up with the green building regulations, as well as green incentives by additional FAR or FSI, or bringing property tax reduction, etc. Some have done, but some are still to carry out on that. That's a great incentive that will be coming, especially some power tariff and water tariff is also another area people are working on this particular segment, sir. We are also glad to indicate that on the housing side, based on the PMAY launched by the Government of India, we brought out a separate rating for the affordable green home, while the green home was really middle income, high income, weaker section, low income, the lower bracket of the housing. Also, green is not for the rich alone. It can equally be for the poor man as a low income. Like the smart cities one, we had the one for the new green cities component there. But the moment smart cities and Amrut cities came, they're all existing cities with a brownfield project. So we brought out an exclusive rating to deal with the situation. And I'm sure we'll take forward your message, sir. IGBC, along with CII, would work the next 3 to 5 years on following areas, create large amount of awareness, as you said, among the general public, and a major message to be given for awareness creation to bring many partners you identified, not only CREDAI, NAREDCO, builders, other component, and also all the state governments and local governments as well. And also creating for net zero water and net zero energy and water concepts, and most importantly, the net zero carbon footprint, creating more greening of more cities and villages, affordable housing projects in a big way, healthcare facilities to be given a distinct thrust, collaborating with the universities, colleges, and schools for development of curriculum in green concepts, and for the students, we have green education initiative also in this area. Our special thanks to our valued supporters and partners. You are truly green champions, facilitating and advancing the green building movement in India. We look forward to your continued support as always. Thank you, World Green Building Council, for being the supporting partner of the GBC 2020. My very sincere thanks and gratefulness to all the 80 speakers from India and abroad. I convey my deepest thanks to each one of you for the topics you have selected and the value they are going to bring in these particular areas, which are going to catalyze in mitigating the climate change issues specifically mentioned by the Honorable Vice President. I would also like to thank our friends from the press and media, because all the message that has come from the Honorable Vice President as well as by the Prime Minister, it has to reach everybody. So media has to play a very major role in getting this message right from the top. The message is coming very clearly to go green. I thank all the delegates for attending this first virtual Green Building Congress. We never thought that in a virtual Congress of this nature, we can get 3,500 in a big way. I request all the participants to visit the virtual exposition during the session breaks, as well as open for the next whole 1 month period. I'm sure all of us will have many takeaways from the deliberations of the conference. This is, of course, what Gurmeet ji has added in his particular message. He has quoted Gandhi ji: "The earth, the air, the land, and the water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but on loan from our children. So we have to hand over to them at least as it was handed over to us." Let's all work towards the great message that has come from the father of the nation. And this message has also been echoed today in various addresses. And thank you very much, and have a pleasant and wonderful day. And the sessions will start. This will bring the end of the inaugural session. Thank you, Chandraji ji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Vice President. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
ये सीधा प्रसारण देख रहे थे आप ग्रीन बिल्डिंग कांग्रेस 2020 के उद्घाटन समारोह का। इस समारोह में उपराष्ट्रपति एम वेंकैया नायडू मुख्य अतिथि के तौर पर हिस्सा ले रहे थे। इसी के साथ खास पेशकश में फिलहाल इतना ही। आप बने रहिए राज्यसभा टीवी के साथ। नमस्कार।